What you're looking at is the infrastructure behind CMMSProAI that was developed by Robyn Midgley. So a case will begin here at the therapist interface. The hand therapist enters the data for a problem she needs mentoring with, either a stiff hand, stalled recovery, or unexpected complications. And the request then travels left into the system to the edge network, which serves the request from the tower nearest the geographical location of the therapist. It then passes through to security and access, which authenticates the therapist and checks their subscription tier. Only a verified request reaches this engine, and then it will go to the core reasoning center, which is shown by the teal request stream moving inward. At the center sits this reasoning core, and this is where the clinical thinking happens, and the flow stops being one-directional. So it goes and it reaches the knowledge base. And this is where Sims theory is held, the method, the biomechanics, the therapeutic window framework. And it goes into the playbooks. And this will be for diagnostic specific reasoning pathways, as well as into the cast designs. And this is where images are stored that matches the cast or orthotic designs that are being recommended. So the therapist sees the actual design alongside the reasoning rather than an abstract recommendation. So these are the actual pathway and learning loops. And it's showed by the pair streams that run in both directions. There's a question out and an answer back, and that back and forth is the system reasoning, and it's not just retrieving. Once the core has reasoned through the case, the response flows back to the therapist interface. This is where structured clinical reasoning lands with the therapist to ask the question. So everything is ultimately directed back towards the front door it came from, which is the therapist interface. Above the infrastructure sits the clinical reasoning loop. And this is the part that's deliberately clinician-led. The system doesn't teach itself in the background. It improves because Robyn Midgley keeps adding to it, as well as the experienced and new therapists who are learning to use CMMSPro. So it is compounded by real cases and clinical insight that's fed down into the knowledge base and playbooks, and it's shown by the teal loops that are flowing into those layers from the source above. So every complex case that's worked through becomes structured reasoning the system can draw on next time. And that is how it compounds towards being the most experienced Sims resource available. And this is done by design, with a specialist in control and the end user being the specialist in mind.